Before we start the reading, just a quick heads up. I offer personal tarot readings on my website, including same day and next day delivery options. If you're interested, check out the link in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. We are covering these dirty dick royals and their wives who, if y'all remember correctly, in the last reading, I told y'all that that is not just the men, the women are involved as well. And like they're trading kids or whatever. Like I said that in one of those readings that I did. And I told y'all that the royals are actually his biggest clients. I remember seeing that distinctly and getting very creeped out because I was like, they actually trade these kids around and it feels like it's like some kind of tradition or something. So that's what I saw the last time. That man is still living in the lap of luxury. Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew, your energy right now. Oh, here he is. Disaster. 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 You want to know something? He showed up right away. Here's Virginia. There's Virginia. I talked about this in the first reading. I think maybe in like 2021 or something. Here's Virginia. Lovely spirit. This is Andrew. Disaster. Disaster. But he is under the impression that he can make some magic work. He can manipulate the press. He can send, so this feels like inquiries. Perry. This cat is over here chewing on my dang on book. He is under the impression that he can contact, so say people in the media or like people like gossip rags or something like that. Like he feels like he can contact these people. He can disseminate what he wants to disseminate and some magic can be worked out and this can be forgotten in about 6 to 9 months. He's under that impression. He's just like, yeah, you know what, right now it's really shitty. But if I do what I usually do, if the crown does this work, excuse me, for me as well, they can make this go away. They can make it quiet. They can make it quiet. I feel like, I mean, we already know that he's a pedo, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, but I mean, listen, we're going to go really deeply into this. I feel like he was touched when he was younger as well. They're giving me potentially age 8 years old. So I asked, is he, a PDF? My channel is no longer monetized, so I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say. I asked if he is a pedophile, and they're saying, like, really, seriously, you're really asking that question? But I feel like he was, he was harmed when he was a child as well. And they're giving me the age between 8 and 10 years old. 8 and 10 years old. He's trying to run away from justice. He is going to be paying people. This doesn't necessarily feel like going to jail or serving some kind of time or being like officially branded as a pedophile or rapist or anything. This feels more like there are going to be lawsuits and he will pay, or the crown will pay. That's what it seems like to me. I also feel like no matter what the family is saying, they're going to help him elude justice. Yeah, they're going to help him elude justice. Oh, he's angry with Trump. He's really angry with Trump. He's sort of like, why was my name put out there? Why wasn't I one of the people that you protected? Why? He's really angry. He's really angry. But yeah, he's going to be paying off more women. It may be publicized, it may not be. But he's definitely going to be settling some things officially. Weren't his titles taken? Not that it matters. Not that it matters. You know, unfortunately, you know, some of these people who are predators, they were preyed on. Some of them, they were preyed on. He feels like one of them. Absolutely. Absolutely. And his energy is telling me that it was brutal. It was a man. It was a man who did it to him. Yikes. Yikes. He's one of those people who was a victim who became a predator later in life. Okay. Now that that's off to a horrible start. King Charles. Oh, he looks just like his mother. I've done a reading on him before as well. He was a very lonely little boy. King Charles. He's Andrew's brother, right? Yeah, of course. He knew about Andrew. Like, please. Please. Listen, no matter what the family is saying to the public, and I don't know what they're saying. If they're saying like, we will cooperate with the tampons. No matter what the family is saying publicly, they're trying to quiet this down actively. They are working the courts. They are working behind the scenes. They're trying to mediate this stuff quietly and expeditiously. Quietly and expeditiously. They're just like, listen, if you have other, I heard a bad word. If you have other women who may or may not come out, tell us now so we can pay them off now to keep this quiet. They're working. Charles knew. He knew. I feel like the entire family knew. They know because other royals are in on it as well. Interesting. So I'm asking if Charles had personal ties to Epstein similar to Andrew, and what I'm getting is no, it wasn't personal ties. He's showing me, nah, that's my brother. That's my brother. He was the one who had personal ties, but it does feel like they were acquainted somehow. They were acquainted in some way. Like they may have spoken to each other, or they could have there was definitely an invite to go to that island. I'm not sure if Charles actually went, but they were acquainted somehow. Like they had some kind of conversation, or maybe between a mediator or something to that effect. But Charles is saying like, no, it wasn't me. That was my brother. Thank you. Thank you. And the feeling that I'm getting from Epstein is that he tried to get the entire family, but not everyone in the family was, they weren't with it. They weren't with him, at least. They weren't with him. Charles, why did you take... I feel like, so the question is, why did Charles take royal titles, duties, instead of letting Andrew and others get away with it like before? I feel like that answer is very obvious, but I'm going to ask Charles. Charles, why did Charles? Charles is so funny. Well, first of all, it doesn't feel like he's that close to this brother. It doesn't feel like he's super close to him. And I always get this for him, even though I think he's a water sign as well, if I remember correctly. He may be the Cancer, I don't remember. I always get this King of Swords for him, where it just feels like he's not playing with these people. Like he's cutting people off. He's getting rid of their protection. He's getting rid of the money, the frivolous spending. And he's just like, yeah, bet, I'll do it. I'll do it. So it feels like, to me, he wasn't really, super close with him anyway. And, Charles feels a bit like a bully and kind of cold. But I feel like that family in general is pretty cold. And he's just like, this guy is just a nightmare. He's a nightmare. So he's just like, okay, well, you know what? I'm cutting other people off, so it's nothing to cut you off either. I feel like they don't really get along. They're not super close. They don't really get along. And I also got the impression that Andrew was the mother's favorite. So it's sort of like, look who's laughing now. You know what I heard? If any of you guys are Hunger Games fans, snow lands on top. Like, that's kind of the energy that I get from Charles about this, where he's just like, oh, look at who's on top now. That's what I get from him. So, I mean, it was politically expedient. It was personally expedient. So he just did it. He just did it. It doesn't really feel like it's connected to any type of justice. It feels more personal. And also, I'll put up a link to the video. I don't remember actually which one it is, where I was saying that he's going to be cutting people off left and right. And I'm sure that he's done that. Like, I mean, he did it even with his own son. So. I mean, this is a question about the Queen. I mean, she knew. So the question is, what did Queen Elizabeth think about Andrew and Philip's involvement with Epstein? She didn't care. Y'all, she didn't care. She knew. Oh, this is her. Wasn't she a Taurus? That's her. She knew. Girl. Oh, here he goes again. She loved him. He's actually, well, I really shouldn't, actually, hold on. Is this Andrew? Or is that Charles? One of them is dying, like, I shouldn't predict that. I feel like this may be Andrew. One of them is passing. One of them is passing. I won't say soon, but probably maybe within like 5 years or something like that. One of them is passing. Because I think they're both water signs. I think they're both water signs. But let me show you this energy that I get with Elizabeth. She's not physical. She's not here in spirit with me, but this is just what I'm getting. She knew. She knew. And she knew that these women he was dealing with, and young ladies he was dealing with, she knew that they were sex trafficked. She knew that they were sex trafficked. She knew that. And, for her, it was sort of like, that's a way to keep him occupied. Look, she knew. She hit it. It feels like she had her own hand in covering some of this up as well. So a lot of them knew. They didn't, oh, it's upside down. What was Philip's Trump keeps trying to butt in. She didn't like Philip's involvement. She didn't like his. And she wished that he took a distance, but it's sort of like, I don't know. It's just the feeling that I keep getting, and I know this intellectually, but spiritually, the feeling that I keep getting is that a lot of this stuff is very normal unfortunately, for a good portion of the world. It's not just rich people. It's not just royals, but you know, you also have to think of, I mean, maybe you shouldn't think of it, but it feels like this stuff is kind of normal for a good portion of the globe, from the poorest to the richest. And, you know, I guess for rich people, they're just like, well, what else are they supposed to do? You know, like this is just how it's been. So it is what it is. Like that's kind of the energy that I get. I mean, you know, and not to offend anybody, but when you think of some countries in Asia, and Eastern Europe, and how it's just a hub for sex trafficking, like it's, you know, I mean, you know, when you're seeing some of the, you go to a red light district in Europe and you're seeing some of these, you know, women in those windows, red light districts, the majority of them are not there because they want to be. So it's like it feels like this is just normal. And if when I think back to when I was in New York, this is random. It doesn't have anything to do with the reading. I used to work on 56 and 57th and 6th. And I would go to, like, you know, lunch with some of my coworkers, and there would be a lot of finance guys around me. And the way that they talk about escorts and strippers and whatever, like almost every weekday, like it was just normal. And you know, again, many of those escorts, they're not there because they want to be. World's a sad place. It's a sad place. Look, he keeps coming up. How does Princess Anne think of this with Andrew? She's like, bitch, don't bother me. Don't fucking bother me, dude. Do not bother me. She feels a bit conflicted. So part of her feels like she wants to be protective because it's her family. It's also her station. I also feel like she feels kind of upset with Virginia, the first lady who actually outed Andrew. But then at the same time, she's just like, this is not, but you know, even though I feel this way, it's not right. It's not right what happened. And I'm asking her, like, how exactly does she feel about Andrew? She's just like, this freaking scumbag. But it's conflicted as well. It's conflicted because I actually feel like she kind of gets along with him. So on one hand, she's really angry with him. She doesn't like what he did. But on the other hand, it's like, you know, that's my family. He's my family. Oh, sorry about that. Let me turn this off. My bad. She feels conflicted. But the very first answer I got from her is, leave me alone. Leave me alone. A decade or so ago, I was briefly released. It was briefly released that some of the women at the African braid store were being trafficked. Yeah. I mean, even when you get your nails done, you know, you never know. Like, some of those ladies are not there because they want to be. Okay, so let's move on to the daughters. Yeah, it feels like both were involved with Epstein. Beatrice, I'm not exactly sure which one she is. I'm looking at their photos here. Beatrice, it feels like they were in contact in some way. They were definitely in contact in some way. Listen, again, this Epstein dude, he was a master manipulator, and it keeps coming out here that he was. For her, it feels like she wasn't super interested in talking to him, but she felt kind of obligated to do so. I wonder if they were receiving money. And then the other one, Eugenie, she feels like she was involved with him. This feels financial. It feels financial. And it's also possible that he may have introduced her to someone, to like a relationship, in the past. Um, that one feels more closer, but it feels like a financial thing. Yeah, Eugenie, she did talk to him. She did talk to him. And again, shoot, I'm mixing up the names. So again, the one where I saw that there's a financial connection, still financial connection. I feel like she may have had some kind of like sugar daddy or someone who was giving her money who was attached to Epstein. He was funding her life for a while, and this feels like an older guy. Whereas I think I said Eugenie, I don't remember. The one where I felt like she was speaking to him, but it felt more like a burden or some kind of responsibility. Again, I get the same energy from her again. Like it feels more financial. Like whenever they needed something financially, then they would talk to him. It doesn't feel like it was some close, I love you, I'm gonna, spend like weekends at Bernie's or whatever with you. It feels more like this guy has money, let's ask him for it. Yeah, they were involved. They were involved. The Queen's grandchild needed sugar daddy. I don't think they needed it. But I guess it was nice to have. I guess. And whoever this person is very, very rich. Very rich. Super wealthy. So it wasn't Epstein, but it was someone who was connected to him that he may have introduced her to. And this person just like funded her lifestyle or whatever. Okay. So, Eugenie, how do you feel about your father, Andrew? Oof. Beatrice, how do you feel about your father, Andrew? Beatrice, I wonder because I forgot exactly what I said, but I wonder if this is the one who had the sugar daddy, who was like a bit closer to Epstein. Beatrice, she still loves her father. She still loves him, Eugenie is more complicated. I feel like she still speaks to him, but she has this urge of just cutting people off. Just cutting them off. Him too. Why spend mine when I can spend yours? Didn't Lil Kim say that? Okay, so this next question is, will Beatrice and Eugenie pay any price for their parents' connection to Epstein? Will Beatrice pay any price for her parents' connection to Epstein? She's saying, bitch, you ain't taking my money from me. Will Eugenie pay a price for her parents' connection to Epstein? No. Did you say Eugenie is out? And look. She may end up moving there permanently. I get her. She just like, bitch, I'm on vacation. I'm out. She may leave permanently. Eugenie, she may leave permanently. And Beatrice is just like, you ain't taking my money. You ain't taking nothing. So if people, if they find out that she was getting money from someone connected to Epstein and folks are just like, give us our money back. She's like, nope, I sure ain't. I am not. Oh, excuse me. It doesn't feel like they're going to face any consequence. And it feels like even if their names do come out, it's not like it's going to be, they went to the island, they were, messing with underage people or anything, children. It feels more like a financial thing. And if people demand that they return the money, they're just going to be like, fuck you. No, I'm not returning shit. So no, not really, not too much backlash. The feeling that I get from them is that people feel bad for them. They feel bad. Prince Andrew's energy. Please protect me from these evil ass reptilians. Prince Andrew's energy right now. I feel it. It's him. Boy, please. Come on, dude. Is he actually in a detention center, or is it one of those things where you show up at the place to be arrested and then you kind of go home? Listen, he literally does not think that he did anything wrong. This is him. This is him wanting to fight. This is him wanting to say, no. I need to speak my truth. I need to speak my truth. I'm remembering YouTubers who used to say my truth, those videos. That's kind of the energy that he's giving me. I want to speak my truth. He still thinks that he's going to be okay. He still believes that he's going to be okay, that he will get whatever it is that he wants, that he's going to be able to live the rest of his life, maybe in public exile, but in the lap of luxury. That's what he thinks. Okay, let me get this deck. See, I'm already feeling it. I'm already feeling it, guys. Already my energy. Maybe it's because I'm not supposed to be, it was saying on the radio he was put into a smaller castle owned by the royals. So he's not in jail, like he's not in a waiting, like a holding jail or anything. He was it's not a laughing matter, but it's like you just have to laugh at this shit. Yeah, okay. Andrew, tell me your energy right now, Andrew. Oh, he hates Virginia. He hates Virginia. He absolutely loathes her. Listen. Is that Elizabeth? I think the other reason why I was getting so drained is because I was also picking up on the deceased, and what's his name was also there. Epstein was also there, and his energy is like so. See, I feel them already. Epstein's energy is so low, and he is dead. He's dead. Epstein's energy is so low that it just drags you down. Elizabeth was here the second. She's here again. His mother, she's here again, and she's showing me that she's watching over him. So listen, you know, a lot of people are huge fans of hers because she's an image of perseverance, I guess. But she loves him and she is protecting him, and he hates Virginia. Tells Deadass to go back to wherever he's at. He hates Virginia with a passion of 1,000 suns. And if you guys remember the original video I had, I feel like it was back in 2021. She was a victim. But from his point of view, they were in an established relationship. And that's one of the reasons why, according to him, he feels so betrayed by her, is because he's just like, but she gave consent. And from his point of view, I'm not saying that this is true, but from his point of view, he's just like, she was my girlfriend. She gave consent. What is she talking about? So he just has this energy of you guys don't know my side. You don't know my side. And from his point of view, he feels like Virginia lied. That's what he feels. He's like, she lied. This is the Seven of Swords, by the way. Virginia lied and she ruined my life. She lied. Obviously, he's not going to bring up the other underage, girls, obviously, because he sees himself as a victim. But that's kind of what's going through his mind right now. His mother is watching him. What else, Andrew? What else? He's not in bad, wherever he is, if he's in a holding cell or if he's in a holding castle, the conditions are not bad at all. They're not bad. He's being treated very well. Andrew, energy. Listen, in his mind, see, again, he's showing me the same shit. He's showing me the same thing as the last time. I'm just using a different deck. So this is the Nine of Pentacles. This is him paying women. This is him, the Fool. And he's just like, yeah, I'll just get free. I can just pay, right? I can just pay these fines and I'll be free, right? And he's feeling like maybe in like 6 to 9 months, things will just die down. It'll just die down and I'll be okay. This is what he's thinking. Whether or not that's the truth. Oh, here's Charles. Whether or not that's the truth, we shall see. Whether or not it's the truth, we shall see. But that's consistently what's on his mind. He's just like, it's bad right now, but I really want to talk. I really want to say my piece because the truth hasn't been told. He feels like Virginia is a liar, that she, quote unquote, misrepresented a lot of things. And he's thinking that if he is able to give his side of the story, the quote unquote, the full truth, everything should be okay. So that's what he's thinking. That's what he's thinking. Okay, let's get to your questions. What actually is going to happen to him? So he has been arrested for like misconduct in a public office for sharing government secrets to Epstein. Not actually for the crime that people care about. Okay. Will Prince Andrew go to trial for misconduct? Guys, I feel paying a fine. That's what I'm getting here. Look, the very first thing very first thing I got was paying a fine. That's the very first thing that I get is paying a fine. And even though his brother is, I think they're both water signs. Because isn't Andrew, wait, is Andrew an Aquarius? What the fuck ever. One of them is a Scorpio, I think. I feel like Charles is a Scorpio. I don't remember, but he tends to show up as King of Swords for me. He doesn't necessarily feel good about this. Not necessarily. But he's just like, listen, if you got to go, you got to go. Charles is saying, if you're the one who has to go, you got to go. He doesn't feel entirely happy about it, but he also feels like I did the right thing. Like I did the right thing. I'm appeasing the masses, but he kind of feels like I don't think the masses are going to be happy. They probably want me to go further. I do feel that he's upset. King Charles, he does feel upset, but he also feels like I'm keeping the future of this family in mind. If you have to be cut off, you got to be cut off. He's not going to be cut off. He's not going to be cut off. But this is the way that Charles is thinking. Like, yes, I don't want to do this to a family member. Yes, I don't want to have our dirty laundry be public, but at the same time, the public is like, they're calling for it. So we have to do it. I'm thinking of the long term instead of just you right now. Will Charles, oh, sorry, no, not Charles, Andrew, will Andrew go on trial for misconduct? He could be like banished. Like it feels like, excuse me, what is this man's sign? I'm pretty sure, like this is like Aquarius, maybe going into Pisces or something. I don't know. He could be banished or he could be sent away somewhere. I'm not exactly feeling like a trial. It feels more like paying money. Okay, sorry. So this is him being banished. This is being sent somewhere. This feels more like, so y'all remember when I was reading on Diddy and I got something like, it feels like he's going to end up being on house arrest or something like that. Diddy's house arrest felt kind of bare bones, whereas Andrew's house arrest feels like living in the lap of luxury, living in the countryside, very quiet, surrounded by birds and bunnies and shit. He's going to be quite paranoid being there. But like, it feels like whatever deal he ends up with, it's not going to be that bad. Will Andrew receive prison time? No. Hold on. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like, this feels more like banishment, or feeling left out in the cold. He's also, and if I remember correctly from the initial reading I did, it felt like he was sickly. Obviously, Charles he doesn't have that long to live. But it also feels like Andrew is sickly as well. So he may try to use that to his leverage. This comes for people who are like, you know, like really sick actually. So he may use that and be like, listen, no, I can't do this. I'm really sick and whatever. Did he try to do that as well? Let me ask if he is going to be charged for any sexual related crime. Will Andrew be eventually charged while he's still living? Will Andrew be charged for any sex-related crime? Maybe. So I asked while he's still alive because it felt like the family may condemn him after he dies. There's a possibility he could be charged for a sex-related crime. There's a possibility like later on this year, potentially, he could be charged for a sex-related crime. He's hoping against hope that that doesn't happen, because if he is, he actually would be in prison for that. He would be. And look, here comes the little kids here. Here comes the little kids. It's possible. Temperance is not a yes, but it's not a no. Usually when temperance shows up, it's sort of like, yeah, they make a compromise. So again, maybe it's not like an actual charge and you go to trial. Maybe it's like a public. So I don't know how this royal stuff works, but it could be a public condemnation or a public acknowledgement. So that could be what I'm seeing. What are criminal courts? What are British criminal courts called? The British government, will the British secular government, will the British secular government charge Andrew with a sex-related crime? It's possible, guys. It's possible. But again, this feeling here of, will the American government charge Prince Andrew with a sex-related crime? No. No to American. But in terms of, this is what the people want. This is what the people want. So it actually is possible that he could be charged with a sex-related crime. It actually is possible, mostly because this is like the energy of the people. It demands. If you guys remember, I did a reading on Turkey, on President Erdogan, and someone was asking, will the people ever overthrow him? And I said the potential is there, but you guys need to raise this manifestation energy. Feels like the people may work themselves up to where they demand it. But again, the resolution, like this feels like money, paying money out, like secret settlements. That's what it feels like. So it's possible. The energy is there to have him charged for this. It's there to have him charged. The energy is there. The possibility is definitely there. Whether it happens, I'm not sure. If it turns into some sort of like royal court thing, some condemnation, that could be what happens. I'm not too hot on that one. But him serving the rest of his days in prison, I'm not seeing that so far. Okay, let's look at your questions. Okay, so keeping with that, so the question here is, will this die down in 9 to 10 months? Will this controversy with Andrew die down in 9 to 10 months? Yes. All over the world, it's going to die down. All over the world, guys, it's going to die down because things are being manipulated globally. It's being manipulated globally. Like I told y'all, Macron, his wife, the Lang family, a lot of people in France were named in those files. But every time I look for it, it says, oh, the files were, Epstein was working with Russia. The files show that Macron was not involved and da-da-da-da-da. They're not telling the truth. When I look at Japanese media, a lot of professors were named. They were talking about children, but they were saying Japanese dogs. That's how they were talking about the kids in there. Prominent politicians were named who literally just won elections last weekend. It's not in the news at all. Koreans were named. A lot of Eastern African leaders were named. And quietly, it's like it feels like globally they're saying that things are being manipulated globally. And eventually it will die down. The secret, like, it will go back into hiding. It will go back into hiding. Russia's over being used as a scapegoat for everything bad. I do think that Russia was involved, obviously. Definitely. But this is like secret extraction. It's like Inception. It's like secret extraction. All these people having dirt on each other so that if one person rats, everyone else goes down. Like, that's what it seems like to me. And making sure that everybody is entrapped. And you do this for me or else I'll release this. Well, but I have this on you, so you do that. So like it feels like a huge global circle of depravity and blackmail. Excuse me. I'm asking again. I'm feeling that there are some women who are determined to make sure that these women need to be careful. So, and I don't mean any offense. There are some women who are determined to make sure that this stays in the news, right? Be wary of some of these ladies, because it feels like some of these ladies actually were like escorts or prostitutes. It doesn't feel like they were trafficked. But it feels like these ladies want to keep it in the news because, you know, they want their payout from him. And just like the Diddy stuff that I told you guys that a lot of people are going to be coming out. They're not going to be telling the truth. And it feels like they were planted kind of on purpose to make people disbelieve almost everything about Diddy. I feel like a very similar thing could happen with, what's his name? With Andrew, where these are real women that he had, relations with. These are real women he had relations with, but these ladies were like, they were working girls, okay? They were working girls. They want their money, but they may muddy the waters, and they may contribute. And like they were working girls. They may contribute to people just not really caring that much anymore. Well, the Epstein stuff died down in 10 months. I feel like Epstein is already dying down in the US. There's going to be more news related to Epstein. There is this feminine energy. It is not Ghislaine Maxwell. I have talked about her before. Ghislaine Maxwell did work for Epstein. She was like his right-hand woman for a lot of things. But there's this other woman. I think she's going to be killed, actually. Like I feel like she's going to be killed. There was this other woman who was the real operator, like the one that he respected, the one that he worked really, really closely with. I feel like in a couple of months she may be killed, actually. Whoever this lady is, I don't know if this lady has been talked about before, but I feel like she's going to leave whatever country she's in, and I think she's going to be killed. So that's happening. That's happening. No, the overall Epstein stuff, it's going to continue. It's going to continue. A lot of people who are involved, they're going to keep, excuse me, they're going to keep defending themselves. You're going to keep hearing things coming out. People outing each other. so that attention is deflected from them. People defending themselves as well. You're going to still keep hearing it by the end of this year. Yes. Is that his 23-year-old girlfriend? No. Whoever this lady is, she feels like an older woman. Like I said, he had partners, not like romantic. Well, yeah, some of them were romantic, but he had partners. Ghislaine was not. She's one of them, but she's like small fry. She's small fry. And it felt like she was in love with him, so it was easy for him to do the stuff with her. But there were like business partners that he had. There's one male royal and a woman that he keeps showing me, actually, that people aren't really talking about. They're ducking and dodging. This lady, this woman, she's going to be killed relatively soon. She's going to be killed. Like, it could be one of those things where her body is found. I'm not sure if people will even know that she is connected to Epstein. But it's her. It's her. She's not going to be alive for very long. Whoever that woman is. Okay, so the Andrew stuff, it feels like the Andrew stuff will die down in 9 to 10 months. And it feels like there are going to be some women who will be accusing him. And the way that they go about it, it helps to make people forget about this stuff. There is a possibility for him to be charged with sex-related crimes. The energy needs to build up for that to happen. So it's a possibility. It's not a definite yes, but there is a possibility for it to happen. Epstein stuff is still going to be going on, though. Let me ask really quickly. Will more files be released by the Department of Justice for Epstein? Yes. Yep. More files. That's probably why it keeps going. More files will be released. More files will be released. They're never going to release all the files. Well, first of all, I mean, logically for me, I feel like those files have been known since the early 2000s. They've been scrubbed by 3 administrations. We're never going to see the full files. But more will be released. It feels like less and less. They're never going to, well, first of all, it's not possible for them to release all the files because many of it have been destroyed already from like, what, 20 years ago. But second of all, they're not going to release everything. They're not going to release everything. No, they're not. They're going to fight to keep a lot of these files secret. The stuff that they're really trying to keep secret feels more financial related. It feels more related to finances, not really the sex stuff, it's finances. If Andrew stays in prison, will people try to extort him or try to harm him? Will Andrew stay in prison? Will Andrew stay in prison? Here this woman is. Here this woman is again. Here she is again. His partner. Here she is again. She's dying. She's going to be killed. And it's going to be violent. She's going to be killed. It's not Ghislaine. It's not her. Okay, so the question is, if Andrew does stay in prison, will people try to extort him or try to harm him? Prince Andrew. I don't really see him staying in prison. So let me just ask, for the time that he is in prison. Someone already asked that. I said no. For the time that Andrew is in prison, will people try to extort him? For the time that he is, I feel like a lot of people are going to be protesting and they're going to become violent. A lot of their anger, so much anger. Excuse me. For the time that Andrew is in prison, will he be extorted? Y'all, look at this. Look at this woman. Look at this woman. How many times is this going to come out? How many times? She's going to be killed. Whoever this lady is, I don't know who she is. Because I'm not in that world. I don't know who all these people are. Some of these people are like mad fucking random. I don't know who she is. She's dying. She's going to be killed. Look at, like, I get death on her ass. I get death on her. Look at this. I get it on her very strongly. I'm sorry. I don't know who this woman is. I've been seeing her since last year. I don't know who she is. Whoever she is, she doesn't have much time left. She better get out of Dodge. For the time that Andrew is in prison, will people extort him? For the time that Andrew is in prison, will anyone try to harm him? No, his brother is going to keep him safe. This is what I got when I asked, will people harm him? His brother's going to keep him safe. And again, King Charles, he knew, just like I saw earlier in the reading. Or in last week's reading. He knew. He knew. He is going to keep him safe. Whether or not he's going to be extorted, he's kind of in his feelings right now. So I'm not really getting much information off of that. But for him, even like 2 days is too long for him. So, oh, spoiled brat. Okay. It's possible because she's coming up very strongly when I read on Andrew. So I wonder if this is someone that he knew as well. Because like I said, I feel like there's a male royal who's like relatively popular and well-known, who was a partner of Epstein. I never got that it was Andrew. Andrew feels like a client. This male royal that I kept seeing, he felt like a business partner who was helping moving like women, girls, boys, whatever, within the royal network. And there's a woman who, like, everyone thinks that Ghislaine Maxwell is like, oh, she was the worst. She was his right-hand woman. And she was in many aspects, but there's someone else. There's a different woman out there that it feels like no one is talking about. No one knows exactly who she is, but her time is coming. Her time is coming. Sure. So extort, that's kind of a hard question to answer. But in terms of harm, his brother will protect him, Charles. Some of these questions, I'm deleting some of these questions. Okay. Oh, I put a different question up there. There was a different one. Someone wanted to know, is Charles really surprised about the arrest? No, I don't think so, but let's just ask. I did read his statement where he said, we found out with the news. Bullshit. King Charles II. He looks just like his mother. Is King Charles surprised by the arrest of Andrew? No. Absolutely not. Y'all, please get... First thing he got, hell no, he ain't surprised. But like, this is orchestrated, people. It's orchestrated. He's not surprised. And listen, he's saying, yeah, we'll pay a fine. We'll pay a fine. It's okay. We'll pay a fine. That's what they're trying to set up in the original reading on Valentine's Day. I said, no matter what these people say publicly, including Harry, no matter what these people say publicly, they're going to close ranks around their family member, because it's not just about Andrew. It's about the institution. It's about the British royal family. If he goes down too badly, they go down. So he's not surprised. He set it up. little bastard. He set it up. Oh shit. She's trying to evade justice herself. They may start asking her ass some questions. She's trying to evade justice herself. But I feel like they're going to start an inquiry on her as well. It may be hidden for a bit. So, you know, she's trying to duck and dodge. She's like, I'm not taking phone calls right now. I'm not taking phone calls. She was knee deep in Epstein. She was knee deep in Epstein. I don't know who this other man is. This is not Trump. I don't know who this other man is, but she was knee deep with Epstein. She found him so charismatic. I feel like she kind of wanted to be in a relationship with him. She found him so charismatic, so charming. He was manipulating her ass very well. And it feels like she was like sexually attracted to him, romantically attracted to him as well. Okay, girl. Okay. Will Fergie be charged with anything by the British government? She does have some financial dealings. I do feel like she's going to be asked questions for sure. There's a possibility that she could be, maybe not, I'm not sure if it's going to result in charges, but I do think that there's going to be an inquiry on her. I do see that, but it feels like it's finance related. And there, like, maybe she held a party or she held some kind of event and it was financed by him, or she got the money from him, or something like that. Or there's something very strange with the money that she used for some kind of event for herself. And she's going to be asked questions about that. Whether or not she gets charged, I'm not sure, but she's definitely going to be investigated. I feel like she's going to be investigated. I'm not sure if it's going to be public. It could be made public, but I think she's going to be investigated for financial stuff. She moves like she's very broke and down for anything. I feel like she was in love with him. Ooh. I think she was in love with Epstein. So that's how she's coping. She's ducking and dodging. Like they the bill collector. She's ducking and dodging. That's what's happening. What does the British public think of the royals now? Interesting. Still a lot of love there, to be quite honest. I'm pulling a lot of cards. There's still a lot of love there, especially for the younger members. What's that girl's name? The little girl. What's her name? There's a little girl. I felt that I don't know William and Kate's children's names besides George, but there's a girl that it feels like the public will really take a shine to. Let me just show you guys. So yes, obviously the emotion has shifted. There's still a lot of love there. Charlotte, yes, I think public really loves her. There's still a lot of love there. There's still a lot. This judgment is not the best energy. It's actually like really poor if you see it in a relationship, to be quite honest, especially when you're asking how the person feels. So this is like Saturn energy. This is karmic if you believe in karma. I don't necessarily believe in karma. Hello, Perry. Reading on these people. Here he is. Yeah, there's still a lot of love there, especially for the women in the family. And it feels like the public, the overall public, they like some of them feel split, but many of them will just conclude that, oh, there was a lot of manipulation that happened. A lot of manipulation that happened. And again, I asked, like, how do they really feel? Again, there's still love there. There's definitely hesitancy. There's definitely like what else from this family? But there's still so much love, especially for the kids, especially for the young ones. Maybe not Charles, definitely not Andrew, Fergie, whatever, but for the kids, the younger generation, still a lot of love there. It's still there from the public. I feel like the public will make excuses for the ones that they like, especially the women. Y'all asked me if Eugenie and Beatrice, will they pay? And I was like, no, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like people will eventually start to feel sorry for them. Because again, the feeling of manipulating the news cycle is really strong with this family. I mean, it's strong with the majority of the people who are caught up in this stuff. So this was an update on the Prince Andrew stuff. Today is February 19th. He was just arrested today. So I'm adding this on to the Valentine's Day reading. So, you know, there we go. If you want a reading, go to www.tarotbymocha.com. I'm also on Keen. You can find me on there. Mocha knows best. All right, bye. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this reading and want something more personal, I offer private tarot readings tailored just for you. Whether you're curious about your love life, your career path, spiritual and personal growth, or if you are seeking clarity on a specific situation, there's a reading to support you. I also specialize in celebrity readings, providing intuitive and respectful insights on your favorite celebs and how their energy may connect with yours. Most of my readings are written, but I also offer live readings for 30 minutes, 1 hour, or more. And if you need answers fast, I offer same-day and next-day delivery options for quick clarity right away. You can find me on Etsy, on my website www.tarotbymocha, or click the link in the description box below. Until next time, trust your intuition and take care.